friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Johanna and welcome to my cozy book space. Let's go through all of my anticipated new releases for the month of August. Take these dates and these books with a grain of salt because apparently I'm really bad at putting the books where they go. But honestly, I think it's because the author changes the dates. I will hear one date, put it on my calendar, never hear about it again, and the dates might change, which is valid. So, with that being said, let's jump into the few books that I am anticipating for the month of August. First two books on August 5th, I have If Not For My Baby by Kate Golden. Kate Golden is actually the author of A Dawn of Onyx, and she's coming out with a romance book. I'm really excited to see what she does with this romance book because I think in A Dawn of Onyx, my favorite part of that book was the romance. This one, I believe, is inspired by like a certain artist, but I am a little iffy on it because it is a rock star romance. I always say that I'm not a rock star romance type of girl, but I'm open to this book, especially because it is a fantasy romance author writing a romance. If I heard or read correctly, she has been having this book in her brain for a really long time, and now she's happy to have found the time and the passion for writing it. So let's see. It's the duet of a lifetime when a rock star and his backup singer find a new kind of harmony off stage in this sensational contemporary romance. Clementine Clark isn't looking for love. Growing up with a single mom who weeps over a new guy each week tends to have the effect on a girl, but Clementine doesn't mind being the rational one. She's even buried her musical dreams so deeply within herself that she hardly notices the hole it's left in her life. That is until her best friend calls her with a life-changing opportunity to join Irish megastar Halloran on his first US tour as a backing vocalist. Clementine wants to reject the offer, but the pay is enough to change her and her mom's life. Overnight, Clementine goes from serving enchiladas at the Happy Tortilla to belting high notes before a cheering crowd. But the whiplash of trading small-town Texas for sold-out stadiums is nothing compared to the rush of performing with the enigmatic Thomas Patrick Halloran. Poet, introvert, and lyric genius, Halloran quickly gets under Clementine's skin. The two couldn't see the world more differently, and yet over the course of the next 8 weeks on tour, the romantic rock star might just strike an unforgettable chord in Clementine. But will it be enough for an encore? That sounds actually really good. We already know that she has some commitment issues, especially because of her mom, but because we know that it is in the synopsis, I won't have these like higher expectations for it, if you will. So yeah, that comes out August 5th. And then we have The Fallen in the Kiss of Dusk by Carissa Broadbent. This is actually the fourth book in the series, I believe. So I recently read The Serpent and the Wings of Night. This is book one in the Crown of Nyaxia series. I actually read it for my March reading vlog, so if you guys want to see my thoughts and review, then definitely check that video out. I will link it up in the cards as well as down below in the description box. I have yet to read the novella Six Scorched Roses, which is book 1.5, as well as read book 2, which is The Ashes in the Star-Cursed King. But I'm so excited for that because it's going to be the end of Rain and Araya's romance. And then there is a book 2.5, which is Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, which I also want to read. And then book 3 is called The Songbird in the Heart of Stone. I believe this is Mish's romance. I have not heard very good reviews, but I'm also excited because I do like the character Mish from the first book that I have seen her from. Fallen and the Kiss of Dusk is actually the book coming out August 5th, which I believe is my second book and last book in Mish's romance. So I'm excited. I'm excited to know that once I hop into Misha's story that her romance is going to be finished and I won't have to wait to have an HEA for her romance. And then moving on to August 19th, we have Fallen Gods by Rachel Van Dyken. I'm looking over here, you guys, because this is where I have my laptop, and so I'm looking it up and looking at my calendar, but you guys already know. You guys already know. This is book 1 in the Fallen Gods series. The cover looks really pretty. It has sprayed edges. Okay, it says the legends of the past are never truly dead and buried. Liv Olson has been drawn to Norse mythology her entire life. After earning her degree and working as a curator at one of New York's most prestigious museums, she gets an unexpected offer for her dream job in Norway, the same place her brother disappeared a month ago after a cryptic message about finding their long-lost father. She finds herself surrounded by superstitious townspeople who refuse to even look at the water. Liv soon realizes that the small town of Vaughn is nothing like it seems. Shops close before dark, and things that she's only read about seem to suddenly exist. To top it off, her new boss, Tristan, is insultingly mean and engagingly beautiful, and as part of the job, she must live with him in his mansion. As her life quickly unravels into chaos, she's left wondering who's pulling the strings in this mysterious place where nothing makes sense yet everything feels familiar. Her studies have always told her the gods are who you trust, but what happens to the man who's destined to kill you is your savior. Rachel Van Dyken's Fallen Gods duology is a steamy, dramatic myth retelling. Okay, it's a duology though. This is only the first book. It's 528 pages, so I just know there's gonna be twists and turns. I like it. Then we have Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. So I did read the first book in this series and really, really enjoyed it. I'm still super anticipating reading book 2 in the Lakefront Billionaire series. First book is Love Redesigned. I gave that one 4 stars. And the second book is Love Unwritten. That is a single dad nanny romance, and that is literally why I have been dying to read it, but it keeps getting pushed to the back burner because I have other books that I want to read and get to. But the third book is coming out August 19th. I'm guessing it's about another brother, right? It's 3 brothers, right? Me confused. So this one is about Lorenzo. Says 5 months, 2 people in love, 1 fake relationship with an expiration date. Sounds simple enough. The problem is Lily Munoz and I have history. So when she volunteers to date me so I can improve my public image, I should say no. Our past complicates everything, but since my future depends on her, I agree to her plan. Faking it for the public is suspected, but falling in love in private, that isn't part of our arrangement. Lily. Using a dating app sounded like a great idea, up until I discovered Lorenzo Vittori was my match. My sister's boyfriend hates him. My mom is wary of him, and me, I've spent the last year avoiding him. But when my business is threatened and I'm forced into teaming up with Lorenzo to save it, all I need to do is help him with the mayoral election, and he promises to protect my shop. It doesn't take me long to learn that I'm not cut out for fake relationships, but Lorenzo, he isn't capable of a real one. Okay. Fake relationship, fake marriage of convenience. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Then we have Endless Anger by Sav R. Miller that comes out August 25th. I have read Sav R. Miller before, I believe, literally like 1 book, which also didn't have that high of a rating for me, but I also want to reread that book because I feel like I might like it more now than I did before. But anyways, besides the point, this is Endless Anger, Monsters Within, book 1. I don't think it's YA. I think it's an adult romance. Dark romance, has a little bit of a fantasy, romantasy, dark academia, does take place in a university. So sometimes the pomegranate doesn't fall far from the tree. Asher Anderson is angry at the world, at himself, at the way his best friend Lucy Wolf seems determined to tune out this buzzing connection between them. He doesn't mean to solve all of his problems with violence, but maybe he has too much of his father in him. That's why the faculty at Avernia College hates him, right? Because of the evil blood in his veins. He should know better than to darken the old ivy-covered university's door, but it's practically a law of the universe. Wherever Lucy goes, Asher follows. Even if that means entering a twisting labyrinth of secret societies, human sacrifices, and a very personal history soaked in blood. Lucy is used to being an outcast. She's even used to Asher being her dark, brooding shadow. What she isn't used to is him shattering her resolve by taking her up against library bookshelves as she desperately pretends her heart hasn't always been his. She should know better than to play with fire, but with unexplained deaths and appointed threats ripping apart the university's fabric, Asher and Lucy soon find themselves at the center of the turmoil, where they'll have to confront their feelings or die trying. From USA Today best-selling author Sav R. Miller comes the first in a dazzling spin-off trilogy. It's a trilogy? It's a trilogy focusing on the children of the original Monsters and Muses, a dark and twisted contemporary romance inspired by the Greek Furies set at an exclusive and dangerous university. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So yeah, I did read the first book in the Monsters and the Muses series, and this is the kids one, which I did not know, which I probably should have. Have I read the Monsters and Muses? I feel like I have. Now I'm not even sure. But I probably won't be getting to this, but it comes out in August. If you didn't know about it, now you do. I probably won't be reading this anytime soon or when it comes out or even in August because I do want to read the Monsters and Muses series first, especially because it's the parents, now that I know. And I'd rather read the parents' romances first before I read the kids' stories. So, but anyways, there's that one, and the cover is beautiful, to say the least. Then we have Love and Other Killers by Bryn Weaver. This is a new one for me. I did not know this was coming out, which I probably should have because I like Bryn Weaver. I've read her Ruinous Love trilogy and loved all of the books. So honestly, I'm not a really big fan of following authors on social media, but I should because that's how I know new releases are coming. But I don't because sometimes I don't like seeing like the constant like posts and stories, and I don't know, it's too much. It's too much for me. Okay. Yeah, it says it comes out. Oh, it actually comes out August 12th, not on the 25th. I was looking at the year. My bad, you guys. It comes out August 12th. It says serial killers versus serial killer in a hot and twisted novella about family games, true love, and competitive carnage by the #1 New York Times bestselling author of the Ruinous Love trilogy. This is a novella about Sloane and her man. Oh, okay. Anyways, I know she has another book coming out this year, but I'm not sure when that is specifically. It says it's the annual hunt for Sloane and her vigilante family of serial killers. Track the most cold-blooded psychos imaginable and take them down. This summer's prey is Alan Muster, a church-going chicken farmer who slaughters more than fowl. The rules of the divide into teams, devise a strategy, and make a move. The more cutthroat, the better. May the best team win. The players are closing in. All eyes are on Munster, but there's a hitch in the family sport this year. Someone might be watching them. Makes sense because the way that Scythe and Sparrow ends, it ends with like a little section from somebody else's point of view, which I don't know even who it is. Like I didn't catch who the fuck it is because I don't remember much from books, but maybe this is who they're talking about in this little novella to come back with the characters. Anyways, moving on, we have Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. This one comes out August 25th. This is the Shadow Weavers duology book 1. It says here, Beauty and the Beast meets Labyrinth in this YA romantic fantasy about a deadly dream world and the shadow-cursed girl who must venture its steps to save her family, all while she falls in love with the Prince of Darkness. Honestly, I read that and I immediately added it to my calendar. Enough said, literally. Lush and vividly imagined, the seductive gothic fantasy is filled with magic, secrets, and dreamy shadow-haunted romance. Another book that comes out on August 26th is Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. R.F. Kuang is an author that I have and been seeing everywhere, but she definitely is an author that intimidates me. But this is a new release from her coming out August 26th. On my radar, I do want to read something else by her. Maybe this might be my first book by her. Who knows? It says 2 graduate students must set aside their rivalry and journey to hell to save their professor's soul, perhaps at the cost of their own. Alice Law has only ever had one goal: to become one of the brightest minds in the field of magic. She has sacrificed everything to make that a reality: her pride, her health, her love life, and most definitely her sanity. All to work with Professor Jacob Grimes at Cambridge, the greatest magician in the world. That is, until he dies in a magical accident that could possibly be her fault. Grimes is now in hell, and she's going in after him because his recommendation could hold her very future and is now in corporeal hands. And even death is not going to stop the pursuit of her dreams, nor will the fact that her rival, Peter Murdoch, has come to the same conclusion. Okay, that sounds very interesting. I feel like it has a different vibe to all of the other R.F. Wang books that I've heard about, but it sounds interesting. Yeah, you guys, that is the last book on my August anticipated new releases. If I missed any new releases that you are dying to read in the month of August, then definitely leave it down below in the comments. And if you don't want to comment any of that, then go ahead and leave me a fire emoji down below to let me know that you made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.